Hi everybody, it's Rob from Glas Data here, and today I'm going to show you how to use our new function builder. So this is the first of a three-part video. I'm just going to go over the basics in this one, and then I'm going to dig into two other more advanced sections in the future videos. So as you can see, I've got an account here which focuses on CO2. So we've got the latest weeks, so the weeks values of CO2 on the bottom here, and in the top left we've got the latest value, which is currently 914. Now let's say that we want to manipulate this value with our new function builder. The first thing that I need to do is find where this raw information lives so that I can modify it. And if you want to modify information ever, you need to go to the My Data section, which is this little document icon on the left-hand navbar. So if I tap on that, you now need to find the topic where your data lives. So in this account, I've only got two topics. One's called feed silo and one's called CO2. You can actually use the search bar at the top here as well to search for things, but I'm going to do this manually in this video. So if I click on the CO2, you'll see that we've got two assets. We've got one which has got this very long-winded name, and then we've got another one here just called CO2. Now each one of these represents a CO2 sensor that we've got set up. In this video, we're going to be creating new columns. Now, when you create new columns, it's reflected across all the assets in a topic. And for more information on how that works, check out the relevant tutorial. So I can click on any of these. I'm going to go into this CO2 topic. And you'll see that we've got now the values. So here's the latest 914 that we saw on the dashboard. And then we've got the historic values here as well. Okay. So let me just show you how to create a mathematical column. And to begin with, we're going to do something very basic. We're just going to do 10 times 9, for example. So I'm going to add a column here using that add column button. This is just going to be basic maths. And in order to add a mathematical function, I need to select the function format. Okay, so you can see we've got the standard formats here, and then we've got some special formats, and I want the function one. And then you'll see the new function builder appear when you click that. And all you've got to do is start typing where it says start typing expression. So I can just say 10 times 9. So what we've got here at the very top is the kind of, this is the system recognizing different constituent parts of the mathematical expression. So when you type numbers, they're always to be highlighted red. We also support variables, constants, and functions, and I'm going to get into constants and functions in a future video. This here is just the kind of prettified mathematical notation. So for example, if I add to this and say I want to divide this by 3.2, you'll see that we kind of get a nice formatted version of that as well. And that's really all there is to it for the basics of it. So if I just hit create column, you'll see that we get this new column here. And if I double tap on it, that takes you into edit mode, you'll see that we get a pretty version of it as well. So 10 times 9 divided by 3.2. And if I hit the edit button here on the left-hand side, you see the same thing as well. Now this isn't overly useful because obviously we're just doing an arbitrary function. So the next thing we need to work with is variables. Okay, so I want to take CO2 and I want to times that by 10, for example. Now in order to do this, we need to put the CO2 as a variable into our function. And that's quite easy. So let's just hit add column again. And we're going to call this one variable mass. I'm going to select my function format again. And then I'm just going to say CO2 times 10. So you can see here that at the very top, we've now got CO2 highlighted in gray. Now this means that the system has recognized that CO2 is a valid variable, and it's obviously got the 10 highlighted in red there as well. And then you've got the pretty format. If I type something, for example, like divided by water, we're going to get this error icon on the right-hand side. So as you type, it's going to evaluate whether it thinks it's a real and valid function. And if it is, you get a green tick. And if it thinks it's an error, you're going to get this red warning icon. Now, this is because water isn't a valid variable. We've only got one column here. It's called CO2. So if I delete that now, you'll see we get the nice green tick. And if I hit create column, you can see that we're now getting the CO2 column times by 10. And that's really all there is to it. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through functions and constants. And then in the future video after that, I'm going to walk you through how to do averages and totals over different periods of time. So look out for those. But in the meantime, happy mathematicking.